that particular map. But if you look at Train and Nuke, pretty tactical maps. I think ViCi have what it takes. It's going to be a battle of two very different styles of Counter-Strike of teams. If you look at these two teams, right, you have D13 relying heavily on the individuals that they have, the trio, as Jason mentioned. You have Rate, you have Annihilation, of course, you have Score. You cannot count out Tamir as well. He's been phenomenal as an in-game leader, as well as kind of, you know, pretty high fragging output. And Mr. Cap coming in clutch as well. And then for ViCi, you have this highly tactical style of Counter-Strike, which we rarely see in Asia. Here we go. It is going to be Nuke, the map pick from ViCi, and D13 opting to start on the CT side. No surprises there.
Well, smoke comes down in front of Min. It's Score that's going to be held off in behind it. And now they push down in towards Secret. Players running down already. It's Advent alongside Zoking just sprinting in towards the lower side. And Zoking was very fun to watch for ViCi. And those entry kills in their previous matchup, he was looking fantastic. Makes a little bit of noise to be, and that's pulled a huge rotation down towards this lower bomb side. ViCi, we're starting to see the tactics already bled. They're going back up towards A.
Well, speed it out. Tamir is in a good spot here with the smoke. They have two smokes. They have a flashbang to use, but yeah, bomb's going to be planted. I like these post plants. I like the post plants. I want to see them go a little aggressive though, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Kaze jamming and Orman. They strike almost simultaneously. A couple of reply does come in from Score. Annihilation pretty low as well, and suddenly this retake not looking that viable, Dinko. Both of them stuck outside of Mini, and all the three members of ViCi are very, very aware of this.
Well, ViCi just holding on now. It's Jam Young with the first kill. The P250 doming Annihilation. Score as well stepping in. And it's just Score alive now with the time ticking. Too far gone. He can't win this round. He drops into the vent. Jam Young just toying with him. Jam Young will fall. But the round will be won by ViCi. And that's just a brilliant pistol round. Selling the fake in towards the lower bomb site. You can see how many players actually fully committed to it. ViCi just back up the vent. Back onto the A bomb site.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, ViCi, they're going to take the map control. Their smokes don't usually have holes in them. You know, the small. I know it sounds so stupid when I say it out loud, but how many times have you seen teams fluff basic utility usage on a map like Nuke, where you need to know how to throw those smokes? You need to make sure they're not these small little gaps which can be abused by the likes of a Kaze, by the likes of an Annihilation with the AWP. And here we go. My favorite player to watch this tournament. I'm not saying he's the best player here. I think, obviously, Kaze, Urcast, they have done enough to definitely stake claim to that particular title. But Annihilation has been the most entertaining player in the tournament so far. And Scout in hand, and Advent patiently waiting for Tamir to go for the cheeky play. And there we go. ViCi, the default is solid. The wait for the pushes, all the angles are covered. And yeah, one thing D13 like doing quite a bit, and you saw this as well, Dinko, is how sometimes when some of these low buys and even some of the full buys, they try and be aggro and try and catch your opponents off guard, and usually does work out for them. ViCi are a whole different beast altogether, though.
They definitely are. ViCi, what? Annihilation? So the scout down in towards Hell, trying to fight for the ramp room. Oh, 2-L for him. Molotov comes in. He needs to get out of there. Armin's going to get rid of Mr. Cap, and Armin's just going to keep walking towards the A bomb site. There's absolutely nothing that they can do here. Score's the only player with health, and he's down in the vent. There's nothing D13 can do in terms of even a little bit of damage here, as long as ViCi just play their cards correctly and don't overcommit to any unnecessary angles. And Score knows it's the B bomb site. He's down here, but the smoke's in his face. He can't see anything right now, and ViCi getting into very solid, safe post-plant positions. So, even damage is looking pretty unlikely for D13 at this moment. So, 2-0. And the money's starting to build for ViCi. And I think the economy game is going to play a huge part here early on. If ViCi can get off to a convincing lead, that's something that D13, I don't feel, are going to be able to come back into. They struggle mentally, Blood. They struggle with that momentum. We've seen it yesterday. As soon as they lose any control, they just cannot get it. They cannot stop a team from picking up round after round.
Well, credit to Score for at least trying the ninja attempt there. But ViCi, they're always going to keep at least one player there waiting on the bomb. And I agree with you. I feel like that final map yesterday on Train against Invictus was very telling as to how they can kind of like they rely on this sort of like a steamrolling kind of like a play style where they get off to a really strong start and they need to close it out that way. Like, they can't stop their momentum. But if they get off to a slow start, I don't know. I feel like they tend not to really come back into the games. Unlike many of the other top teams playing in the PAL 2020. Look at ViCi, look at Tyler. Sometimes they have slow starts. Sometimes they have good starts. They choke a bit, but they're able to close it out. But D13, it's either they win convincingly all out, or it's no other option for them, right? It feels like most of the games we've casted and we've watched of theirs. And here we go. Just the pistols. ViCi are aware that D13 would be on Nico here. So they don't even bother with the smokes. Just going to be marching out towards outer yard, looking to take any fights if needs be. If any USPs would be looking to face them.
Gone? He's just... Oh, he's still just rocking the Glock. Okay. I thought he had a gun at the start of the round, but he had just got the Glock. Okay.
Interesting, though. I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, the USPs aren't bad. I mean, you can definitely lose in a gunfight to the USPs, especially if you only have a Glock.
Yeah, I know what he's trying to do, right? I mean, obviously save money, maybe drop an AWP towards Kaze, ensuring that he could be the player just running on in and, you know, gathering information. But why? Like, even a Macton investment is worth it. It's such less money, and you definitely ensure yourself as well that you're not going to lose a potential fight against even 2 USPs facing down at you. But with a Glock, now, you might be Kevlared up, but you know how good these aimers are on D13. So why give them the chance? Why give them a little opportunity, right? So you're a little... I like Armin's like, yeah, you're probably holding it angle. I'm not going to walk around the corner. Just going to run it out. Mac 10 in hand. Annihilation falls. Flawless round for ViCi. That was very well done. And like you said, Dinko, look at the cash on the players.
A fantastic start from ViCi. Every player playing correctly in terms of how they're approaching the rounds. No one really making too many errors. No one's overextending. So, really good stuff. ViCi just methodical, wanted to clean up these rounds, and they've done so. And now we come into this round. It's going to be Annihilation on the AWP. He's got that out pretty early on. And that's going to be a test for ViCi to see if they can deal with it. Because for me, that's the most potent thing they have here in D13. Yes, they've got Score. He's a good all-round player, but the X factor for them, the Orb of Annihilation actually allows them to compete against some of these better teams, I feel. Of course, Zoking's on the lower bomb side, Blood. Of course he's down here. So quick. Jam Young gets rid of Score. And now D13 looking to reclaim the bomb site, a man down. They've lost vent control as well, so quick rotations can't really come through. And Tamir is stuck in the ramp alongside his teammates. Gonna try and go through. Mr. Cap with a kill on Alman. At least one has been picked up for D13, but they've still got to get that vent back. I think they've quickly realized retaking this B bomb site is pretty unlikely, so they've got to save. And that's just an easy round for ViCi. They get down towards B. Immediately the round's won, just by being here.
At least the decision by D13 to save. Smart and Zoking. I find it... I mean, we all know it, but I find it crazy how small the bomb radius is on Nuke and Vertigo.
Yeah, it's funny how you can stay alive inside of the site, but if you're on Silo, on A or whatever, you can die. Not in terms of the B explosion, obviously, but if you're on the A bomb site, you can die from B. It's pretty nuts. The vertical explosion's huge, but the horizontal, not so much.
And of course, you can die on Banana and Inferno, even though the bomb's at A.
Yeah.
Well, first challenge for ViCi on the buy round, and they come out on top very convincingly as well. And once more, Zoking will be the man. Like I said, right? Like, you look at the stats for Zoking, and the more I watch him play, you need to watch ViCi play to understand and try and have context about his stats. He's not a top player in the team. You have Kaze there, you have Jam Young as well. And then you look at Zoking, like, oh, this guy's kind of crap. And I've been guilty of saying that a few times as well. I'm like, he's too inconsistent. But then you also got to have the context that he is a player sent out on all these wild missions, right? He's the guy sent, all right, Zoking, go here, go alone into the lower bomb site and make something happen. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And even then, sometimes he gets some of these 30 bomb games, which is so impressive. It's almost like I feel like he's a part of a dying breed, the hard entry, right? Kind of like a Apex of old. And he does his job well, and I really feel like he allows Advent a lot of room to work with and gives his teammates so much space. And look at this. Look at this. One by one, they're getting picked apart, Dinko. This is not good. Annihilation, though. Good for 2. Oh, you don't want to chase this man down. You don't want to chase this man down. That is massive from Annihilation. 5v2 to a 1v2, and suddenly he's made it very, very doable for Mr. Cap.
He has indeed. How the hell does he find all 3 kills? And now it's just a 1 versus 2 for Mr. Cap. It could have been impossible, but now this is certainly winnable. He's got a kit, he's got a smoke and a flashbang, 100 HP. But the issue is he still has to find Kaze and Armin. And the smoke up and decon, the noise made as well. He gives away his position, and that might just cost him the round now. He has to flee the scene, he has to save into the next, and Annihilation does his best, but it's not enough. 5-0 up for ViCi.
Flawless start coming out from ViCi. And man, for D13, this is worse than previous round. They lose 4 rifles. Of course, Maxwell's bonus kicking in. They can definitely buy up, but I was looking at Twitch chat and I noticed I'm just like, obviously because it's the viewers aren't like spamming non-stop. You can just look at some of the comments, and one of the comments I noticed was one guy mentioning how the Glock armor is a thing, and my answer to that, like, it's obviously addressing what we said about Advent. My answer to that is I don't care who does it. Like, it's not just about Advent. It could be a top tier team. It could be a top 5 team in the world. I'm still not a fan. I feel like there are certain economic decisions made by certain teams, players, which you look at it from a surface level. You're like, yeah, that's super smart. He's saving money for the next round for his teammate. I'm like, yeah, but you want to play the numbers, you want to play the percentages, and that's not how you approach it. I'll give you a very good example. You know the classic, oh, your opponent, the CTs have SMGs, so we're just gonna die and burn alive in the Molotov, all 5 of us, right? And we've seen how many so many people are like, oh yeah, that's genius. You avoid giving money to the SMG, so that's so much potential money taken away. You just only give the $300 bonus money for getting a Molotov kill. However, my counter argument is, instead of dying to the flames, if you run on in, and even if you challenge the player who is with the MAC-10 or whatever the SMG is, and you somehow are able to face him and get even 1 kill, the investment, he loses his armor, he loses the gun, he also loses maybe a bit of utility, and that kind of neutralizes, that kind of makes up for the fact that he might get an ace with the SMG. Get it, right? So there are these decisions which certain teams make, which again, so many people, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But if you dig a little bit deeper, it's like, yeah, actually, no. You're actually kind of handicapping yourself.
I agree. I think there's a lot of the small economic decisions people don't really think about. And I think they try and, from a surface level, expect that to be most interesting plays. In fact, oh, Glock, definitely a good decision, but yeah, there's a lot more behind it. Well, scored, stuck in the vent, he's going to go up and find himself 1. Mr. Cap stepping up and a huge 3k, but luckily Jam Young comes in from heaven. That could have been around for D13, but Mr. Cap not making it work.
That was very close, and a little bit of a mistake from ViCi, not clearing towards the vents, not expecting a player to be climbing on up. But again, man, Zoking, how does he keep getting these entries? He's not necessarily getting helped out by his teammates. There's no flashes for him. It's just dry peaks, and he's somehow... If you look at the... I mean, of course, we're going to be seeing the stats later on, but I feel like he's had like 3 entries already, maybe 4 so far in this game. 3 entries at the very least. And it's not just 1 entry. He's doubling it up. He's getting like a couple of kills every single time. You can't allow Zoking to get off to a start like that. He's the sort of player, once he starts getting rolling, he starts becoming almost nigh unstoppable. And then you have Kaze and Armin and Jam Young to deal with as well. Not to forget Advent, who has really been stepping up in the fragging department so far in PAL 2020. So all of a sudden, ViCi start looking not just a dangerous team, but looking almost impossible to take down. And D13, like we said, Dinko, if they get off to a slow start, they don't seem to be able to recover back quite effectively.
Yeah, they just can't really get into it mentally, and it's a big problem for them. And clearly one that does come with the inexperience of this team and the lack of probably an experienced leader as well. Because we talk about Tamir being a little bit older, but really, in that respect, you need a player who has a load of experience. So ViCi have Advent, clearly an income leader that can structure this team perfectly for ViCi. And they seem to always just play their system. Doesn't matter who they're going up against. They don't change it up. They don't sit back and rest on their laurels when it comes to playing against a team like D13, or if they're playing against Invictus for that matter. I will say they do change it up against Tyloo a little bit. They play much more scared and a much more respectful style of Counter-Strike. But for everyone else, they kind of play the same system. And obviously, when players aren't really hitting their shots, like Kaze underperforms for the first time ever, then that's when that system kind of breaks down a little bit. But for the most part, ViCi, a rather consistent team in that respect. And now 7 rounds up blood. They haven't had too many issues at all at the start of Nuke, and I'm glad, because I was starting to get a little bit worried for ViCi. Because against Divine Vendetta, they even struggled there on Nuke, and obviously yesterday, they lost Nuke for the first time, so for a while. So we have had a bit of a rough time for ViCi on this map lately, and hopefully this game, if they win it convincingly, will get their confidence back.
Let's see if that does happen. 7-0 is the best start you can hope for. Like, literally everything working out here for ViCi Gaming. And for D13, when are they going to get the first? It's not looking good. Score. Oh, they checked. They're so aware, but Score's still going to win the duel. Tamir strikes, and this could be the round, Dinko. Tamir with a double. Bomb drop, but Jamyoung will pick it up. Jamyoung opting not to take the fight. Zoking still alive. It's a little distance away, though. Jamyoung isn't spot the head of Annihilation, looking the wrong direction. Annihilation looking to find Zoking. Zoking creeping on up. Annihilation doesn't spot him. This is actually good for ViCi. They still have a chance. There's no information whatsoever. Zoking, if he climbs on up here, he can actually catch Annihilation by surprise. I like how patient Jamming is being, just waiting for Zoking to go for the play. There we go. He finds Annihilation. And that is Heaven in control with the T's. Molotov towards Hut. The plan's going to be coming in for Heaven. And now it's a 2v2.
Bomb planted. Flashbang down in towards the site as well. Tamir at the ready with the flashbang. Rid up here, look at Heaven. This is a huge play for Rid. He goes forward, spots the player on the rafters and transfers down. Catches out the second player as well. And that's beautiful from Rid. First round on the board for D13. Took a while, but in style.
It looks a little unfortunate, I feel like, with D13, that they could have potentially closed it out way more convincingly, but one thing also from ViCi, what you noticed there, right? Like, the second they had the man advantage, they don't, like, panic, just go for, like, random plays. Like, Jamyoung's there in a sight, he has the bomb, he's like, alright, I know there's a play towards lobby. Zoking conveys information, I'm coming up towards Heavens. It's simple stuff, but they almost made it happen, except for a brilliant play from Ray. I think a delayed Heaven ladder climb actually helped him out, because Zoking was holding the angle for such a long time, and the moment he turns away, timing working out wonderfully for Ray. But still, 7-1. And ViCi have so much more, and they can burn a little bit of as well, and it's still not going to hurt their economy. And for a D13, they need to string a couple of rounds together here, not lose too many players. Bear in mind, first round they won, they still have only 2 players staying alive. That means money is still looking a little grim for a few of the CTs. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, Jamyoung gets another. Rit going down and immediately black. Just right away after they finally went around. They've been shut out of the start of this one. Annihilation is still alive, but he's been completely neutralized by the utility of ViCi. He's held back and neutered in towards this hell position. And Zoking elsewhere takes away Tamir. It's job done. ViCi have cleaned up again. There's no way back into this round, surely, at this point.
Well,
they don't even give 1 kill towards outside. They make a call. Oh, we're falling back.
It's basically the reverse Smooya, where Smooya is like, yeah, it's easy to get killed, and ain't no one flashes you. And Annihilation, he doesn't get that opportunity. ViCi's like, yeah, we're just gonna throw all the smoke and the flashbangs. How many kills are you gonna get blinded and smoked off? I challenge you. And there we go. ViCi, they answer back very convincingly. At least for D13, a small little silver lining is Annihilation has some cash. He can drop a gun over towards Score. Mr. Cap can drop one for maybe for Raid. And Tamir, well, he'll just have to make do with pistols and maybe armor and whatnot. The thing is, though, even when you have the CZ, pistols, the shotguns, it's Nuke CD side, right? You still have an opportunity to try and make it happen. Annihilation, he's getting hunted down. And with it up taken out of the equation, I don't know. I think they're still going to go for the buy, though. At this point, there's no real point saving for a full buy. Might as well just go for a full investment, try and make it work, play a little bit more aggressively, up close and personal. But the way ViCi just taking out that outer yard and getting so much map control, it's very hard to counter, especially when you have, you know, maybe an MP9 or a shotgun.
I agree. It's not looking like a great scenario for D13 right now, and especially because they've invested everything into this. If they lose this round, they're right back down to an eco. ViCi go on a tear for the next 2 rounds. We're looking at a pretty one-sided scoreline already, and the scarier part about that isn't just the scoreline, it's the fact that ViCi are doing it from the T side. Less favored side here on Nuke. D13 have kind of shown over the last couple of days, sometimes their T sides can struggle. We've seen that on Train yesterday against Invictus. Oh, not again. Straight away, they just lose an opening pick. Zilking getting rid of Tamir.
How many entries does he have now? It's getting a little ludicrous.
The fact that Zilking's finally finding that consistency we always talk about is great. I think he's such an important player in terms of his role for ViCi. And if he's doing his role effectively and not just running in and dying, then that's when ViCi become an even scarier team. And now right under pressure, Blair. This is going to be huge. He has to pick up to the left side. Oh, nearly gets the second. He will go down, though. Zilking there with the reply. Annihilation under pressure. The flashbang goes off the left wall down in towards the B-bomb site. But again, D13 are faced with the question of go and try this retake or fall back and save what we've got. And I think there's a clear answer.
Yep. Another save. Another round.
Oh.
Stay alive. Stay alive, Mr. Cap. I'm just toying with him. He's calling for backup as well. Oh, he's done for.
Well, Elwin calls for backup. Zilking's like, sure, I'll help. And then just leaves him to die. I love it. Well, Mr. Cap survives. And 9-1 on the board. ViCi dominant. This is a replay from the previous round. That's ridiculous.
Oh.
That's
a mile away. That's a mile away.
Okay, what can you do about that? You literally can't do anything about that.
That pretty much sums up this half so far, right? And actually, I was completely wrong. I don't know why I've been thinking that, you know, Zilking is the one who's been getting all the entries. Jam Young, actually, well, Zilking's got a couple of entries, but his Jam Young was like 4-1 or 5-1 in entries so far. Just a little surprising.
Yeah.
It feels like Zilking was getting all the entries for me, but oh well.
Well, Zilking's getting the map control. That's the part he's getting. He's creating the distractions, and actually, in a way, he may not be getting those opening kills, but he's creating the space and the chaos that allows Jam Young to find the kills. And so therefore, it's a different way of playing the entry role. But it's certainly effective. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that coming. Alwyn just runs around the back and Annihilation has just been assassinated and left dead on the floor. That's Assassin's Creed right there, Blah.
Speaking of Assassin, our replay guy, Assassin, he should be coming up with hopefully a few nice panned, like, you know, well-produced replays. Oh, Advent!
How?
Oh, wait,
ooh, no.
What?
Jam Young's got 3 kills already, Blair. He needs to win this clutch, though. And Score coming up from the vent has the perfect position. A second round for D13. I mean, it's a small victory, but it's one nonetheless. Alwyn gets a knife kill, but they still lose the round.
Oh, you had to see it. There we go.
What is an
Wait. I guess it's spotting the gap.
He is, but how? Why are you not
aware
thinking that you can be pushed from outside? That's hilarious. He's just looking at the reflection in the glass. He got distracted.
Imagine if, like, you could see your enemies coming in from behind a reflection of your scope or a mirror. That'd be next level. I like this.
Oh.
I don't like that.
That's disgusting. Disgustingly bad. Well, Advent just shuts down Tamir. Kaze coming in with a kill and Score, and now it's a 2-man advantage in play for ViCi.
Oh, it's like they win a round and ViCi just slap them back into reality. It's painful, and it's more like it's it's tactical bullying. It's a very different style of bullying. It's unlike how Tyloo does it to certain teams, where it's basically you don't know what to do because Tyloo is just better than you. They're just like individually, everyone's better than you, and they just get destroyed. This is different. This is ViCi. If Tyloo is a hammer, ViCi's a surgeon scalpel. They will dissect you. You won't even feel the pain because it is such a thin razor. But you look down at your body, you're just bleeding all over the place.
So morbid, blood.
It is a little morbid, but this is very morbid for D13 as well. Oh boy. 10-2. The hammer and the scalpel. Two top teams in Asia. Well, 10-2. They're out of money, Dinko. They have a few upgraded pistols. We know how good they are with the pistols, but unfortunately ViCi are better with the rifles. So it's not going to be easy here. Kaze up on the T side. You don't really see Kaze up that often in T side, but Nuke is one map where he just seems to make it work. And Tamir, he peeks in through the hole in the door, and hello, here's Johnny, says Kaze. And plucks his head off.
Zoking as well. Yeah, follow-up kill, Advent. Shuts down Annihilation. It's just easy pickings for ViCi. And it really does feel like D13 are going to struggle to find any consistent success in terms of stringing rounds together. ViCi are very good at smothering any potential momentum.
Yeah, it's a beatdown. Jamyoung 17 kills with it. Touch upon how Jamyoung has been kind of quiet this event compared to how he's been for ViCi in the past few months. And he's really stepped up to play. Zoking as well. It's like Jamyoung gets the opening and then immediately Zoking gets a second kill in some other part of the map, all alone. And of course we have Kaze, and everyone stepping up as well. Well, for D13, if they want to fancy the chances on Nuke, they need to at least get like 4 rounds here. All the remaining 2 rounds in this half to give themselves some breathing room, some space to work with on the T side. It's not going to be easy though. ViCi setting up for this upper hit. Jamyoung holding towards radio, looking for any flank. Looks like they're going to be heading towards ramp though. Almond trying to kind of set up a little bit of a fake towards upper, Molotov. Flash and whatnot. The jump cross comes on in, but Tamir not ready for Jamyoung to be so close. Annihilation's going to peek around the corner. That's a nice shot, but he needs to fall on back. You can't re-peek. You can't keep on re-peeking. The little window of an opportunity there, and he misses a shot, and Almond, like it's spotted out, and he gets the kill. He's just toying with his food at this point. Annihilation. Oh my lord, Almond. Okay. The children. Stop it.
Well, it's not a pretty picture. ViCi are painting right now. 12-2. We've had a lot of one-sided halves over the past couple of days, haven't we?
It's near the end of the tournament, like where most of these games are just for the positions. And I don't know, like you still want a good seeding, right? I mean, ViCi have something to play for, but D13, you don't want to just fall flat like this. You want to show that, like for D13, I feel like this event is more about kind of like Jason mentioned it. You mentioned as well, Dink. It's more like an audition for some of these players. Right? It's more like an audition for this team saying that, hey, we can be a really solid team. We, you know, there is Tiger. I know there's Tyloo, but we can be one of the top teams in Asia. And even some of the individuals who want to get picked up, maybe move on to a better team. Maybe you might even see the Mongolian super team by the end of the year. So for them, it's about showing up against some of the best teams in the region. And this is not really them showing up, unfortunately. So we have a little bit of a...
I love it, Blair. Well, it's really just disgusting, isn't it? I really don't know how Annihilation thinks he can just hold that angle for so long, though. He's completely exposed. He doesn't even check behind him. Well, last round of the half. This is looking like a ViCi dominating scoreline. Well, Score is going to get aggressive and try and get that opening. He will find success on the Zoking. And that advantage pulled in play for D13.
I really want to see D13 put up a fight in this series. I know it's only map 1, and I don't want to be a doomsayer, but because I really enjoy watching them play. I really enjoy watching Annihilation and Score pop off. And I want to see them pop off against what ViCi's going to throw at them, right? I want to see them tested. I want to see what's going to happen when they face off a team like ViCi, where they're not going to give you much space to work with. You have a mastermind like Admin, you have players like Kaze, like Almond, like Jamyang, and even Zoking for that matter. And I want to see what they have against these players. It's easy to, like, you know, just stomp all over teams like, for example, you know, Mazelai or some of the Thai teams, but this is a whole different beast altogether. And right now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Nuke is their playground.
I'm intrigued to see what Train will be like. Obviously, I want to see if ViCi can close this first of all. But I want to see if D13 can bounce back on the second map. Because I don't really have a whole lot of faith in them, to be honest, on the second map. I haven't really seen too much here. Rick gets rid of Almond. Round at least will go their way. It's a nice no-scope from Annihilation. Ball planet Kaze. Okay, I said it might go the way. 1 versus 3. Kaze's back in the hut. He's got a good position to try and win this as well. And there's any player that you expect to win a clutch like this, it would be Kaze. He spots the perfect timing onto the player crossing to the bomb side, but he turns back, scores, sees Kaze, realizes the window of opportunity is there, and he'll turn around, shut him down. And it's 12-3. D13, only 3 rounds picked up at the half. Not exactly the performance they'd be hoping for.
Not at all. I feel like if Kaze had, like, taken out his AWP the moment he spotted the second player, like, he knew where the first one was. He set spot the second player, Op comes out, gets a kill, bombs down. I mean, he could have potentially clutched it up, but still 12-3. I mean, it's just a brutal scoreline, Dinko. T side of Nuke as well. And then, well, now you know why ViCi like playing this map. They're so damn good. Annihilation. Some fancy kills coming out of that, but could hopefully inject a little bit of confidence here into D13, but still we have entire second half of them to bounce back, and they have shown that they can play the map. Maybe not to the level of what ViCi have shown so far, but they definitely do have what it takes. Facet going to be coming up towards upper. Going to be 3 Gloss charging on in. Annihilation to open it up. Admin replies back, but a quick trade favoring the T side. They're going to get the bomb down as well. There's a player above Mini, and he's going to drop on down and finds Almond, and suddenly D13, they find themselves in a pretty good position, leaving it all on Jamyang in a 1v4. He's going to find one. They're going to peek him. Would not necessarily advise that. This one seems a little bit out of the grasp of Mr. Jamyang. He can just find the 1 kill in D13. Straight off the bat, Dink. Oh, straight at the back? Straight at the bat, Dinko, they managed to win the pistol round. And that's a convincing start to what is going to be a pretty long hill to climb. Not a long hill to climb, tall hill to climb. I'm forgetting how to English. What's wrong with me?
It has been quite a few weeks of Asian Counter-Strike, and there's been some confusing games, and yeah, early mornings play. I mean, I'm
not English anyway, so I guess
that's also an excuse.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, clotheslined. Is that the Nova for Advent? Respect.
Nova,
there you go.
It's a decent spot for it right now as well. Advent, aggressive in towards hut, goes for the peek around the corner, but Mr. Cap is there with the Mac 10. Advent, he's going to go down, but Almond replies with the Eagle. It's not out of the hands just yet. It's certainly still doable in terms of damage, but at the moment, still got to be looking in favor of D13. Jamyang, another kill. Opportunity was there, but it doesn't come through. Now it's just Kaze left alone in a 1 versus 3 and Score. He will clean it up. 5 rounds to the board for D13. They survived the scare of the force buy.
ViCi showing some discipline despite being 12-5 up. They're like, you know what, we'll just eco this one. There's no point just force buying our way into oblivion. Can respect that. But for D13, they get around 6. I still don't see, even if D13's not mounting a comeback, I still don't see them winning this map, but at least they put up a show here. At least they put up a fight. That's really gonna make them feel better about themselves heading into map number 2, but uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, what? Okay. He drops to his death. Alright, normal services have resumed. No, hold on. Advent's still there. AK in hand, bursting away, but the aim punch comes in. Okay, that's quite a bit of damage dealt, considering they only had, what, USPs, P2Ks, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols, that's about it.
Oh, this is just hilarious.
No! I thought he died from Evan Dingo.
I think Alman was a player that died in Vertigo after jumping off the ledge as well yesterday.
Yes.
He's taken quite a few tumbles. Okay, Brit, that is quick. Alman gone in this round as well. Kaze's going to reply. Brit going down. But pretty crazy round so far. Advent luckily keeping it at bay, and ViCi with the advantage.
With advantage, and all 3 members of D13, the spread quite thin. Tamir's going to get the bomb down, but back up, there is a player towards Secret. So I'm running towards Outer. And of course, I have one player towards Hut. That is, of course, Mr. Cap. Now, if Mr. Cap can find a couple of kills, they might have just walked past each other. There's all 4 members of ViCi looking to retake this bomb site from the ramp area. Score's pretty far away, still looking to find someone here. And finally, they should have an idea where the retake is going to be coming in from. Do they have a smoke? Yes, they do. They have a couple of flashes as well, and they can just stick this Dingo. They have 2 players with the kits. Tamir just goes to the peak. Mr. Cap replies back. Tamir with a frag. That's big, and they're not able to even make their way into the bomb. And that is going to be Kaze left alone, and it's another big round win from D13. ViCi Gaming taking maybe a little bit too long to go for that retake. And D13. Scrappy wins, but a win nonetheless. And with that, they get to round number 7. Just 5 rounds separating them from ViCi's 12, Dinko. It was 12-3 at a point. Slowly but surely, they are clawing back into this.
They are indeed. And they're making the scoreline look a little bit more respectable. Although, signs have definitely been there that ViCi will compete eventually. But as of now, it's just Eagles and 1 AWP in the hands of Kaze. And who knows what they might be able to pull off with this. Crazy stuff, perhaps. I think it's with Kaze. You kind of need him to step up in this round and really be the player to get those impactful kills, but you also don't want to put him in positions where he can lose that AWP easily, because you kind of want him to save that into the next round, because they're not going to have much for it, or enough at all for it. So you kind of want to have the AWP in Kaze's hands as often as possible on Nuke on the CT side. So you kind of have a predicament right in front of you, Blair.
Nice openings though from Mr. Cap. He's been coming in pretty clutch in quite a few of these rounds. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to take out that AWP from Kaze's hand. Cameo, keeping up, baiting out the player, and Kaze, just it's a shooting gallery. They're just going to try and take away as many guns as possible. Here's a question for you, Dinko. Do you believe?
Not very much, no. But then again, what are we talking about?
I mean, could be many things, but well.
Yeah, the comeback for D13 is not looking too likely for me, personally. I mean, they can definitely make the scoreline look more respectful. Nice shot from Kaze. Rick gone. I love how he just takes his time. Just lines it up. A double up setup save for the CT side. Jamyong and Kaze. That's not bad. ViCi, they have it in their back pockets. Moving into this round, obviously, I'm much more confident for ViCi now. They've got 2 AWPs saved over. They have so much money to get the rifles out, the utility out around that. This is the best chance for ViCi to start getting into it on the second half.
And also the high IQ play coming out from Kaze there, not heading towards CD spawn to save, instead just waiting towards the locker room area. Good damage dealt, yeah. They save the AWP and even get an extra AWP upgrade as well. while taking away 4 members of D13 in a round where they didn't invest anything. Once again, Annihilation, not wasting any time, quickly making his way to a secret, and I'm sure he's been heard out by who is that? By Almond. And information conveyed to Jam Young, but still doesn't matter. Annihilation is gonna win the duel. Jam Young's gonna fall. Annihilation early Molotov, and Kazi just pushing it through the smoke. Perfect timing. Catching Annihilation, tossing an incendiary. But will that draw the rotation from ViCi? Because all the remaining members of D13 are still waiting in this lobby area.
Door open. Almond is going to throw his Molotov down. Now pushing towards the A bomb site, looks to come through. One player springing out already. It's Almond with the kill. Mr. Cap gone. Oh no, Soaking though tries to commit to help with Almond, but he goes down through the smoke. And they should be aware there's a second player there due to the kill feed. So they're going to be hard checking Almond surely at this point. Tamir's still aware, still trying to get forward, but he's worried about the other angle. Advent towards the back of the bomb site, you should be scared of that. So they drop to the vent, they go in towards B. A 3 versus 3, this is certainly winnable for D13.
Oh, indeed it is. And that Molotov being tossed in as well prevents any player from heading down from vents. There's still a player floating around all the way towards outer at score. He's a player with a full HP as well. Question is, can his teammates buy enough time? Almond's still looking around. Oh, this should be an easy kill for Score if he doesn't get checked. Almond checks him, but Score still wins the deal. At least that's information conveyed. But I like how heads up rate is being, and it looks like, oh, Kaze gets spotted up. That should be the round. That should be the round. And look at, oh, that's brilliant from Rate. That is brilliant. Finds both the kills. The double up setup just goes flat, Dinko. And D13, the comeback, it's definitely real now.
Yeah, it's definitely, they're one round away from double figures, and now they're finding success in the T side consistently with convincing round wins, and even losing kills towards outside and losing players just as they're about to hit in towards the A bomb site. The fact they're able to figure out what they want to do in those mid rounds, that's something that we talked about D13 struggling with throughout this entire tournament. So that's a good sign. If you can figure out your mid round calling against ViCi, well, not so bad at all. Jamyeon gets 1 kill, but these assists are really solid. The trading is really good from D13. But Kaze's got to pull that kill. Oh, the Molotov as well, Blair. Kaze's just shut it down single-handedly.
Tamir does get a reply, but ViCi now are aware. Oh, wait. Did Kaze not see the player drop down? Well, he gets the flick shot, and Tamir is a nice shot, but Score replies back. The 1v3, Dinko. It is Score, I believe. But Zoking just opens the door and forces Score to just go for the plant in the smoke. And he's not really spraying. Now he is. And now Score 1v2. Advent peeks around the corner, but a quick trade coming in. Well done there by Zoking. Peeking simultaneously. Op will be picked up as well. And with that, well, ViCi get the first round in 7. I won't lie, that's been pretty impressive from D13. They've managed a streak, but finally it comes to an end. However, ViCi only have 1 player surviving, meaning the money is still in a pretty precarious position. Almond and Jamyeon both below 4,000, meaning that they will have kind of inferior weaponry. And if you look at the D13 money, not much of an issue at the moment. They can still buy up a pretty solid buy. Rifle's going to be coming out, just Annihilation with the Galil. If I'm Tamir, Raider, Mr. Cap, I just toss the AK immediately over the Annihilation.
Well, 3 rounds away now. That was a pretty good start for D13. We're talking about how they're playing really well. They're figuring it out. And then Kaze just says no. And it's unfortunate. So now we get to see what they're really made of. Can they come back after losing that round and show us what they can do here? They win this, certainly back into things. But at the moment, ViCi finding important kills and Soaking taking down Annihilation. That's not a player you want to be losing early on. And he hasn't really done a whole lot here on Nuke either.
Yeah, which is a little disappointing for everyone involved, but Kaze, man, he's not as flashy as Annihilation, but he's just so good at just ensuring he gets the kill. It's like Kaze shoots, Kaze kills. Tamir is just gonna walk on out dry, and you don't do that You don't try to do that to Zoking. Zoking's a god at walking out dry. He's more than ready. And it's now on score again, Dinko. But this time it's even more unwinnable. He's in a 1v4. Bomb dropped out in the open. Somehow finds Almond, but the trade is immediate. And with that, ViCi get closer to the golden number of 16. 2 rounds remaining for them.
And the money gone. So should be map point. Interested to see where D13 take this one. Do they force buy or do they save for the next round? I don't think there's really any other option but to eco here, because you're not going to get a good enough buy to be able to compete against a fully fledged CT purchase for ViCi. So as awful as it sounds, this is looking like a 15-9 scoreline with D13 having to fight for overtime.
Yeah, don't invest here. I mean, considering how they've managed to claw back from like 12-3 to 12-9, they know they can string rounds together. They know they still have something which is working in the T side. Maximize the chances. I know it's really hard to mentally prepare yourself. Usually when you're like 14-9 down, you're like, guys, this one's done. Let's just force it up and YOLO it. No. You can work it with the rifles. Fine, let ViCi get to 15 rounds. You just need to win 6 more rounds in a row, which you've done already. So yeah, just repeat it again. Almond's gonna find Mr. Cap. But a little too aggressive for my liking there from Almond, especially when you know that the buy from the T should be kind of poor. They've given away a free AK-47. They're going to cut the bomb down as well. However, they're falling by the wayside, and the bomb plant might be the only success they'll find here unless Score and Annihilation are able to do something truly insane, which is looking unlikely. They're too far away, and the bomb will be stuck.
Well, defuse is there, 15-9. Bomb plant, I mean, it's not the worst in the world, as chaos happens on the lower bomb site. So 15-9. This is now a scenario where D13 have to be flawless just to get overtime, and even then, they've got to fight in overtime as well against ViCi, one of the most experienced teams in the region. So yeah, this one's done, Blair. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
Well, you've jinxed it, Dinko. We're going to go to triple overtime now.
Gonna go triple overtime, D13 are gonna win, then we go second map. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised anymore, Blair. I really wouldn't. Actually,
yeah, we've seen some...
That's a lie. That's a lie. I would be pretty surprised.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we have here. A little bit of a timeout getting called. 15-9. And looking at the... they're dropping out, obviously, for... it's Kaze dropping out, okay.
Yeah, you can't really play around without Kaze.
I mean, Jamyoung's at 25 kills, so I guess you kind of could. What stands out for you when you look at the kills players have had, Dinko? For me, it's Annihilation. Just
yeah,
that is so surprising.
Hasn't really done anything. I think ViCi have done a really good job in neutralizing him and his positions. They've made it difficult for him to hold that ramp room. Molotovs have just been flying into his position. He's had to deal with players just rushing down the ramp, getting in towards the lower bomb site. He's been knifed. He's been mutilated. He's been absolutely embarrassed, left on the floor, and he hasn't done anything.
Make it sound so terrible. It has been rough. It has been rough for Mr. Annihilation here. Yeah, he's been a little brutalized by Tai Lu. And I'm just going... I'm looking at his performance in this event so far. If he remains stuck on those 10 kills, it will be his worst map in... since the previous RMR, since when they faced off against Camel Riders, when Camel Riders beat them, where he got 9 kills on 2 maps. I mean, 9 kills each on both the maps. And that was the ESL one, the Road to Ria, which took place 2 months back. So yeah, this will be his worst map in the entire tournament. Which is why it's so surprising, just to see Annihilation sitting just on 10 kills. That is so unusual.
Yeah, it's definitely unusual, and we talk about him being a win condition. He has to show up against ViCi if you want any chance of taking him over the line. I mean, 9 rounds with Annihilation on 10 kills. You can't help but feel, what if? What if he shows up? What if a couple of rounds go D13's way because he pops off? Just hasn't really been able to do so, and Almond getting aggressive. Going to walk forward just to bullets reaching him. Jamyoung able to reply and gets the trade back in for ViCi, and now they fall away. They go back into the 3 versus 3, and they hold on.
And 3 players left alive for ViCi are definitely dangerous ones. It's actually cool. You have score rate annihilation, the core fragging trio of the timing of that. I think Annihilation spotted him out. Maybe? No, he hasn't. But now Jamyung sees him. So yeah, Zoking, Kaze, and Jamyung facing off against Score, Tamir, and Raid. And Zoking, oh no! The no-scope doesn't land. The first one does though. Annihilation, he's just having no luck today, and it's all on Raid. The 17-year-old Mongolian prodigy. He needs to make this one work. He's got to get the bomb down. He's got a Molotov to work with. Just fakes the plant. And it's going to give more time for the CTs to make the way to his low bomb site. Farn is going to get a plant in. They're making a lot of noise. And Raid, unfortunately, Jamyung was ready. He spots him through the smoke before Raid does. And there you have it. ViCi Gaming. They gave D13 a glimmer of hope, Thinko. But eventually it got snuffed out.
It did, and I mean, ViCi, that's a relatively convincing performance here on Nuke. I feel like they'll be pretty happy with it.